Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Josh Guillory Show. I am your grateful host, and in studio with me, Parker. What's up, Park?
What's up, Josh?
Man, I'm happy you're back, buddy.
No, me too.
Did you think Lane's missing us right now?
Probably.
He's in to his knees in hand grenade pins over there with Turning Point. We love it.
Yeah, he'll be back Monday, I believe.
Well, both of you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
And guys, we're broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're live on rumble.com. Hello, Jenny7788. Certainly appreciate you guys. Go join that nice lady on chat on rumble.com. And shout out to our KLFY Plus viewing audience. There's so much things going on. There's no way we're going to fit all these topics in, but we're going to try our very best. First, guys, for all your construction needs, I want you to go visit my friend over there at Kishbaugh Construction, Keith Kishbaugh, very, very good patriot, great member of our community. Certainly appreciate you, sir. Kishbaugh Construction, they've been doing it for a while. Go check them out. All right. So I heard the news earlier. Adam Schiff apparently is, did you hear that? I heard Carol talking about it too. Adam Schiff, he's a senator, Democrat senator. Apparently the FBI is looking into some documents, some classified documents that possibly he brought home, which seems to be a catch-all for all these guys now. Seems like either a lot of folks are doing it, and maybe they have been doing it, both sides. I don't know, but that's all I do know about it. I will say this, just because you know how I feel on this and about lawfare and stuff like that. If they're gonna do that to a senator, or any American, I just hope that they're right, because I'm telling you, it's hard. It's hard to resist that revenge button, but revenge is not ours. That don't belong to us. This political lawfare, using your office to go after your political opponents in the justice system, I hope it's none of that. And here's the thing. Because of the environment, because of the lawfare that we've seen, mainly coming from the left, of course. Maybe this guy's legitimate, but we're all questioning it because, maybe it's a legitimate initiative by the FBI and we don't have any reason to not believe it. I'm just saying, I hope it's right, because if we lose the justice system, if we lose the judiciary, that's different roles, activist judges, very few, but they exist. You've seen that. If we look at leaders at all this is like local level, even though this is not, that's national, it's FBI. But when you look at folks in power that have the power to indict, that have the power to go and arrest, man, when they start using that for political reasons, to even the score, to go get the guy, you don't recover. Once both sides start doing it, you don't recover. So I may be a little more sensitive to this than others, but it's wrong. It's un-American. And I'm not saying that's what the FBI is doing right here, okay? Schiff, I'm no Adam Schiff fan, okay? I'm quite the opposite. I just don't want to lose our country. And I'm not saying it is. Again, maybe I'm just in the rare minority. I might be because this feels good. It feels good. Felt good to them too. Felt good to Letitia James. It felt good to Alvin Bragg. Felt good to Fannie Willis. Feels good for some of these DAs in Louisiana. 2 of them at least. Most of them not. Most of them do a great job. Great job. Objective. Just do their job. Get politics out of it. That's how it's supposed to be. Now, let's go back to this. So, this is, we haven't started, but this is interesting on some visas and Microsoft. So I'm looking at this story, and maybe somebody can explain it to me. Maybe they can explain it to me, Parker. Microsoft over here is laying off thousands of employees, including roughly 1,600 people in its Xbox division. Oh no, my son is going to be I hope he's okay. Will he survive it? So they're laying off 1,600 people in its Xbox division. If we stop right there, no big deal. It's a private company. They understand overhead. They know they got to cut expenses. It's all about net profit in a business. Bottom line. But that's not where the story ends. At the same time, the company has been approved for more than 2,200 H-1B visa workers just this year. Okay, if it was just that stat, not a big deal. That's lawful immigration, helps our economy if it's controlled like it appears to be. But Microsoft lays off 1,600 Americans. At the same time, they get approved for up to, well, at this point today, 2,200 H-1B workers just this year. Okay? And we're supposed to believe Americans are crazy for asking questions because the headlines don't match what I at least saw in social media land and beyond. Yeah, there's a lot of questions on that. And, you know, a lot of folks on the left, liberals, like to have tough conversations. I can meet you where you're at. Great. Let's have the conversation. Because this kind of gets right to something that has just been bothering me for years. And again, maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. And look, I am generally very much a free market guy. I want government out the way. I want lower taxes. I want less regulation. I want businesses to succeed. But immigration is different. Immigration's different. Immigration isn't some side issue where the federal government should just, I don't know, shrug its shoulders. It's one of the fundamental responsibilities of the federal government. I mean, a sovereign nation decides who enters the country. They get to decide under what conditions they enter into the country. They get to decide if it's a purpose that they agree with. Remember, this is just short-term stuff, H-1B. And none of that position just now is controversial. That's just basic governance on this issue, at least. Go talk to those European guys. And if we're going to have legal immigration, as we should, then it ought to be designed to benefit the citizens of the United States first, period. Not second, not after the quarterly earnings report, not after the HR department, first. I get it, you know, you have those 2,200 H-1B visa jobs. I get it, but you just let go of 1,600. How many other companies are doing this? And is this really gaming the system? And can you convince me that it's not? You have a president that's trying to lock down on this and put America first. The USCIS and whoever else they're working with, sure, they'll let you go through the process and navigate, but right when you get to the 2,200 mark, you lay off 1,600 Americans. I'm just saying, seems like a workaround, or maybe you're trying to work around, because especially the Trump administration, had they had the notice that we're going to let all these foreign workers come in because obviously you need it because, you know, you proved what you need and you're going to follow all the laws. That's fantastic. I don't know. Maybe I'm off on that. But I would imagine the Trump administration would probably have some questions like, wait a minute, I don't have to approve it. You know, I'm sure there's a way to not lawfully and ethically. But maybe that's something we should address. I'm sure we'll get bipartisan support. Man, all right, so look, let's take us a little break, Parker. When we get back, we'll finish up this story and so much more. I think I have a friend join me later. That'd be great, man. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Hold on. Hold on. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. Man, go visit my friends over there at Dino's Pizza. Pizza of the month is the Knockout Pizza, man. The Dustin Poirier Knockout Pizza. Go get that Poirier Pizza, man. And they got 3 locations. Bertrand, Dino's South on Colley Saloon, and in Henderson. 3 great locations, wonderful staff, wonderful team, wonderful menu. Go check out that Pizza of the month. It is a knockout. All right, let's... you doing okay, Parker? You making it over there?
I'm trying my best.
Yeah, well, that's good. So you had when you go through the day, you talk with multiple people producing multiple shows.
Right.
Do you kind of get excited when you get to press more buttons at 3?
It depends on the day. It depends on the day.
That's an honest answer.
Yeah, it depends on the day.
It can get a little stressful back there.
Yeah. Being out for 4 or 5 days, it's like I wasn't in a groove, and Moon didn't have a show this morning.
Oh.
So, like, I had to come in at 2. Like, I didn't start until 2 today.
So, Miss Carol, she warmed you up.
Yeah.
She got you back in the groove.
Yeah, I was not in the... Because usually if I'm in a groove, I got 8 arms. But today I came in with... Today it was 2 for a minute. It was just 2.
I saw you grow 2 more. You got 4. Man, look, Carol was spitting fire on those nonprofits and the NGOs, non-government organizations. You know, they got their place. Being in local government, I mean... I know the way we did it, and that was you had to prove that you did the services. We like to make it competitive and let new ideas come to the table. But I do think it should be at the local level, and every local leader is different. Every local team, council, mayor is different, and the local needs. But one thing's common with these nonprofits and non-government organizations: there is fraud. There are a lot of cases where money comes in, they pay their partners, and they don't provide the services. So yeah, you got to watch those. You got to watch. They're oftentimes through a public-private partnership, you can knock out some of those social needs of a community in a more cost-effective way. You don't have to hire more government. You don't have to grow government. So temporary situations. Maybe you got a homeless crisis. Maybe you have a housing crisis. You partner with those guys instead of creating another division in your local government, because again, that power never goes away unless you got somebody wild that says it's time to cut. You don't make many friends that way, trust me, but it's the right thing sometimes. Now, speaking of that, you have Microsoft over here that they cut jobs. Surely it's their prerogative. It's a private sector. Government shouldn't be telling them if they can cut those 1,600 jobs or not. However, government, the federal government that is, which is a government of limited powers, which means the federal government can only, by our Constitution, act in accordance with specified constitutional permission, for lack of better words. Congress often use Article 1, Section 8, all the things. But immigration is in there, and immigration falls squarely on the federal government. So the federal government should not tell Microsoft to not make cuts when they think it's appropriate. That's none of government's business. But what is part of government's business on behalf of we the folks is to make sure that our immigration policies are not hurting American workers. American workers, especially in immigration, should come first. And I'm not apologizing for that. I think it's such a compliment, and none of us should be. I think it's such a compliment to us and to our country that people are just willing to go through those very, very hard, treacherous journeys to navigate to the United States. And I still say probably 99%, maybe lower, I don't know, but 99% probably great people that just want the American dream. Unfortunately, 1% of 20 million in a 4-year period is a lot. 1% of 10 million, that's the lowest number I heard, in a 4-year period is still a lot, So anyway, it can be done. So no, you don't let those 1,600 H-1B visa workers come in once you find out that you're cutting 1,600 American jobs. Revoke them. That could sound cruel, like Guillory has no heart. No, my heart's with the American people first, and so is the president's, and so is most people. So are most Americans. Russian immigration looks out for Russia. They don't look out for the person trying to get there. Can they help Mother Russia? That's what they look for. And that's what we should be doing. So I really don't know the circumstances as far as whether the immigration offices of the federal government knew about this layoff. It seems to me that it was over a gradual period of time, the H-1B visas, and now collectively it's been 1,600 granted this year alone in 2026. It's July 9th. So when you look at that, and then you look at 1,600 Americans that lost their jobs, and I'm assuming due to budget cuts, fair. Hey, it's fantastic. I mean, it's horrible, but you made a decision. That's good. And it could be a good one. But if that's the reason, you got 1,600, or excuse me, you have 2,200 Americans that could easily be trained. And I'm just saying, so it wouldn't be the government in my perfect scenario. It wouldn't be the government telling Microsoft, you can't cut these American workers because that's your prerogative. But what I would be saying, if it was up to me, and probably up to you too, we're not giving you H-1B visas for foreigners to come in and make money when we have American workers that need the money and that can do the job. Maybe you disagree. Parker, that seems reasonable, don't you think? American jobs should be held by American workers, right?
Yes.
You got job shortages. Great, sure, use the H-1B visa. It's a phenomenal tool. It's lawful immigration.
I actually had no idea what that was until you started talking about it, and I researched it a little bit.
I feel you. What's your research show you? Pretty good stuff.
For the H-1B, it says.
You don't have to worry about it. One's agriculture, one's not. Think of it like that. Think of it like that. But take all the, and I think there was a third one that Congress was trying to do. I don't know if they have done it yet, and feel free to call in on that, 232-1542. But I will say that there are common denominators, and one thing that we can, whether you say HB1, whatever, it doesn't matter what classification, it is still foreigners getting jobs in America. There's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with the visa process as long as it's America first, and no one should apologize for it. Our duty, when you swear an oath, I don't care what level of government you're in, your duty is to the people you serve. It's not to the institution first. Fuck that. It's not to the institution first. It's to the people that you're so blessed to serve, and it's service. So you don't put the people's interest in front of non-Americans. When all the Americans are taken care of, let's take care of all the foreigners if that's what you want. Can't we just take a pause after USA paying for all that silliness? Sean knows what I'm talking about. Let's bring him on. Sean, what's up, baby? Thank you. A lot. Wow, way to go. Hey, look, learn something new. When you put it like that, it makes it's more reasonable, clearly. It just still doesn't rub me the right way, but when you put it that, yeah. Train them. Nah. Oh, I'm cringing. You're spitting reality. I'm with you on that, Sean. It's just, surely we can start being more self-sustaining. We had to learn something from COVID. And if we can't build ships, what's wrong with us? You know, there was a point, Sean. Well, Sean, there was a point that's a whole other thing. There was a point, in the military we had cooks, and then there was a point, at least in my brief service, where we contracted all that stuff out. Now, it's my understanding that maybe we have some more cooks. I don't know, but same thing with MPs doing base and post security when you enter the post. Fort Polk, for example, that was always MPs. It is now back, but there was a while where that was all contracted out. Like, we got to be able to get back to a self-sustaining army, a self-sustaining military, a self-sustaining country with a supply chain. Man, that's scary. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I messed it up, I guess. I don't know. I, uh, and the mosquitoes, they need an H-1B visa. They're very unique. All right, Sean, we're hitting a hard break. We certainly appreciate you, man. We're going to take us a tiny little break. If you're on hold, we'll come right back to you. Stick around. front load the value, all the stuff. We'll
Oh,
talk.
yeah. You want it hot?
Okay. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the KPEL Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. We're also broadcasting live on rumble.com. That's Real Shad. Y'all go check out That's Real Shad's podcast as well on rumble.com. Love you guys over there. Very, very good one. Angry Vulcan, my Indiana friend. Angry Vulcan. Indict a ham sandwich. Yeah, you can indict the DA can indict a ham sandwich. You were right about that. Anyway, guys, but look, go check us out over there. And look, if you're tired of just treating symptoms in your life and you're ready to find out what's really going on, man, call my friends over there, Dr. Kevin. I'm trying to get him on the phone later today. Hopefully we can. Got some interesting things I'd love to have his thoughts on. And it's not just RFK. You know, I went on about three interviews in a row, picking his brain about RFK's initiatives. But I love that guy. But hey, stop treating the symptoms. Go figure out what's really going on. Call Dr. Kevin at Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic. They use functional medicine, so Dr. Kevin focuses on really finding that root cause, you know, so you can feel your best. That's the deal. Call them at 983-CARE, 983-CARE, right here in Lafayette, Louisiana, right by STM to give you a landmark. But if you are not in the Acadiana area, he does remote as well. So whatever that's called, telehealth. But certainly appreciate Dr. Kevin and Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic. All right, let's go back to the phone lines, shall we? 232-1542. Caller, you are live. What's your name? Where you calling from? Parker don't have my caller ID on. Hey, good afternoon, my dear friend. What's up? You're right about that. You're right about that. And you know, it's the freedom is great to be a business owner, but I'll tell you, I bet you there's some times where your folks that rely on you are probably long gone from that workplace, and you're still up doing something. The books, mopping the floor, answering voicemails, something. Am I right? Wow. Woo! I love that. I love that. Yeah, take charge, man. Take charge. In order to do something different, you got to do something different. Thank you, bud. I love when he calls in. Love when he calls in. Renee, I love when you call in. What's up, buddy? Thanks, Renee. I appreciate you, brother. Leads to definitely relying on something that's dangerous. Government. Government. And socialism ain't too far from communism. It ain't too far at all. At all. All right, so let's go into some other topics of the day. Uh, Park, you got any sports updates? You like sports. Anything? I can tell you one.
Yeah, the U.S. got blew out.
I know, man. Hey, our team went to the top 16. No one thought they'd get that far. You thought they would? This is your sport.
Yeah, I thought that we would at least beat Belgium because we lost to them last time we played them in round 16. I thought, and it's home field.
Yeah.
And it was, and like the host countries were U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Canada and Mexico were already out. I'm like, there's no way all three go out. There's no way.
The North American
And then we
Alliance.
Yeah, we all went out. But it was like we competed with them, and they just had 2 bad goals. Like realistically, we should have lost 2-1, but there was 2 just very stupid plays. But that's what you get. Like
it's sports.
Realistically, all the starters for the U.S. team would not make a single team for any of the other 15s.
What?
Yeah, no, I don't. Well, you know the Balogun guy. He's from England.
I wondered that too. You know, kind of like Freddie Freeman in the World Baseball Classic 3 years ago, played for Canada.
Yeah, he actually has an interesting story. So like in soccer,
Freddie, or the soccer guy,
Balogun.
Yeah.
His mom, they were visiting New York City, and his mom was they were in New York, and his mom was pregnant with him, and she had him while they were in New York. So birthright citizenship, he could play either for England or the U.S.
Hold on, was this the guy that Trump was saying the red card?
Yeah, he got a.
That's interesting. Support an anchor, baby.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm glad.
Except for him, he's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad we had him. He's probably definitely our best player. But that's why he played for us because he couldn't. He couldn't make England's team.
So our best player plays for us because he couldn't make England's team.
Correct. Yeah.
Hey, what England did they make the top 8? Did they get out? Gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
but they're
not that I have anything against England. I was just really looking forward to that July 4th matchup that didn't happen.
Yeah, and everything just went downhill from there.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's talk about this plane situation, man. All right, y'all remember that plane from Qatar, the Qatari plane? All right, well, let me tell you, I had a little story that I found. It's not, everybody's talking about this airplane, okay? But I don't even think that's a story. The story is what the airplane kind of tells us, all right? So I'm teasing that. Here's what happened. President Trump was at the NATO summit. You may have saw that in Turkey. The plan was for him to use the newly retrofitted Air Force One, the former Qatari jet. Remember that? The big old plane. Oh, that's now serving as the presidential aircraft. But instead, the Secret Service reportedly urged President Trump to leave Turkey on the older Air Force One as a security precaution. What? Passengers were reportedly instructed to keep window shades down. Portions of the flight path were concealed. The administration acknowledged there are serious threats against the president. You can go to SCOTUS blog. There was actually some stuff on there. But we're going to stop right there. We'll take a little break. When we get back, I'll tell you a little bit more, and just in case you hadn't heard it. All right, guys, stick around. Me and Park, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We got those phone lines open. Appreciate the callers earlier. Go check us out at rumble.com. You can go check out my friends over there on that chat. They are hot and heavy, and I love it. Hey, guys, looking for luxury, safety, and a dealership that puts customers first? Visit Giles Volvo Cars here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Man, whether you're shopping for a new Volvo, a quality pre-owned vehicle, or expert service from factory-trained technicians, the Giles team is ready to help. Stop by their showroom on South City Parkway or see their inventory online. Experience the Volvo difference at Giles Volvo Cars, where exceptional vehicles meet exceptional service. GilesVolvoCars.com. Go check them out. All righty, let's go back to this Qatari plane situation. Remember, that's the big old Qatar, the plane from Qatar. Qatar, Qatar, but it's not Qatar. Don't call it that, okay? Don't do it, Parker. All right. So anyway, so that big old massive plane, isn't it like 2 stories? It's huge, okay? It's huge. But anyway, Secret Service said, Mr. President, I know you have these plans at this NATO summit in Turkey to fly off in the new former Qatari plane that's now will be Air Force One. It's only Air Force One if he's on the plane. Now, but anyway, the Secret Service said, you can't do it. There's too much threats. And everybody else is talking about the plane. I want to talk about, maybe what folks hear and think about. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, some people are going to hear that and think interesting aviation story. No, of course not. Because it's not. The real question is, why on earth was the Secret Service taking extra precautions around the President of the United States? That's where the article should be around, and it's not. Because maybe, because at the same time, tensions with Iran have exploded again. Did anybody think of that? We've had renewed military exchanges. We talked about that. The administration says Iran resumed attacks on shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. We talked about that yesterday. J.D. Vance said, pretty simple, you shoot at ships. You don't shoot at ships, we don't attack. You shoot at ships, we attack, and we attack harder than we did the first time. And that's where we're at on July 9th. Which could change. It's 3:53 p.m. I guess that could change by the end of the show. Maybe this caller has an update. Let's see here. Let's go straight to the caller. Caller, you're live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? That's you. What's up, Bucky and the Crow? Ah. You ain't kidding. And boy, hey, look, Buck, I wish Jamie Angel was here because he was telling some stories about beepers and how militaries can use those. And so, yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah, with the beeper. It's crazy. Man, that is nuts. But yeah, hey, good call. You can't trust. You gotta trust but verify. Good job, Secret Service. Just imagine if they wouldn't have. What was going to happen here? But that's kind of the brief update. That was a great call. But here's what really kind of got me here. At the funeral ceremonies for Iran's supreme leader, crowds were carrying banners threatening President Trump, chanting about killing him. Now, we don't know if that was like, Khamenei's presence, the new one. But just think about that for a moment. The President of the United States, not in some dark corner of the internet or anonymously, out in the open in public with cameras rolling in this conflict. But I got to say this. Somehow we're supposed to act like all this is normal. And maybe it is becoming normal. But I'm tired of it, and I think a lot of Americans are T.I. red of it too. Because for a long time, what have we been told? All right, we've been told the answer is always, well, let's just do one more negotiation. Let's just do one more negotiation, one more agreement, one more little reset, one more diplomatic initiative. We're civil here. One more chance, one more pallet with cash. I had to. At some point, reality has to matter. At some point, we have to look at reality just a little bit. At some point, we have to look honestly at the Iranian regime for what it is across the spectrum and not just people on one political side. Because the media totally missed it. Totally missed it here. And maybe, perhaps this is just bothering me more than it's bothering you. Let's go to this. Oh, we can't fit it in. Doggone. Caller, we'll get you the first round when you come out. I'm keeping them open the whole day. That's right. I'm feeling a little froggy. Me and Parker gonna jump. But the Iranian people are not the regime, okay? The Iranian people are not the regime. Millions of Iranians are decent people trying to raise families, trying to live their lives. They've suffered under this regime too. I'm talking about the regime. And I think the president has a good handle on this. And we all knew 60 days could have been 60 seconds. It could be 62 days. This dude, our president will keep you guessing. And I have no problem with that. No problem with that. But we'll talk more about Iran and other topics when we get back. Stick around. We'll be right back. Park, hour number 2 is going to be great, man. BRB.
Change it to the wrong one.
We're going to go to the congressional district topic.
Congressional district?
Yeah. I mean, I'll wrap up with that, then we'll go to that.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our number 2 of the Josh Guillory Show. I remain your very grateful and thankful host. And in studio with me still, Parker. What's up, Park?
What's up, guys? I'm never going away.
That's what I'm saying. That's dedication.
I'm here all day, every day.
You literally are.
Yeah.
That's a marathon.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
Lane's back Monday, and then I'll be back for good, forever and ever and ever, middle of August.
I love it. I love it. Hey, shout out to the Louisiana State Police, the CID, the DOI Region 2 detectives over there, man. They do a great job in Bro Bridge. I just appreciate all of what they do. And same thing for all our law enforcement officers out there, man. Just appreciate y'all. I think the communities around here support you. And just, you know, what you do every day is very special. So appreciate you. Shout out. I wish I could give a shout out to all of them, all our first responders. But today we're going to focus. Special thank you to our Leos out there. All right, let's go straight to the phone lines. 232-1542. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's up, Mr. Bobby? Yeah, those. Yeah. There's possibly a high percentage, at least for a certain group in that region. Well, you know, it's convoluted, Bobby. I mean, it's I hear you. I hear you. There's probably most folks shaking their head in agreement, man. It's a different culture. It's a different government. It's a different mindset. I think you're right, Bobby. Hey, Mr. Bobby, I think you're right. What do you think about this, though? Because this is we talked about it a little bit yesterday. So this whole 60 days, you know, finalize the details and all this stuff. Man, I think that's brilliant. You take a tactical pause from a military standpoint. Trump's already softened all of their military capabilities. If we had to do a land invasion, which I don't, you know, I advocate the president to do what he needs to do and get in and get out, whatever it is. Okay, I hope it's not ground troops, but whatever. It's all right. It happens. That's what you're smoking? Planes. Oh yeah. There's look, yeah, the drone warfare. Yeah, I'm totally with you. But you know, but look, I appreciate you, Mr. Bobby. Always love to talk to my dear battle buddy. And this is my other battle buddy. She was supposed to come in studio, but she's a busy lady. Let's go to my friend, Miss Joyce Lindy. What's up? Hold on, Joyce, the voice coming in strong. Well, it really was. I love all the Acadiana Republican women, the Florida Lee Republican women, all the LFRW, NFRW. Our party would be nothing without these Republican women groups. How many men groups do they have? I'm just saying. Well, that's good. You know, you got to balance it out. That you're checking some boxes, Joyce. I said you're checking some boxes. We're going to let this guy in. Right. A lot. No, you go in there with your pockets are Yeah. Doyle. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. He is. Him and Will Keating are battling out for that. The guest host tomorrow on the Josh Guillory show. Y'all check him out. He said after he's done, there's no more Josh Guillory show. He's taking it over. That's what he said. This might be my last one. We could always figure it out. I'm looking at Parker. Who knows what the week brings, Joyce? But I'm going to get you in here because we got so much to talk about, you and I. And I appreciate everything. We got to move on, Joyce, real quick. But I appreciate everything what Miss Joyce does, and she serves. We'll get into it next week because I really wanted to highlight some of this service because it might help, might motivate some folks too. But she's a big artist, big in the arts community. She serves. I think she was appointed by Governor Landry to serve on some pretty important art committee, and just proves that us conservatives, we're not sticks in the mud. We like art too. I am a son of a blue-eyed soul singer. I love art, but I like to pay. Local governments should be pretty fiscally responsible in that. I'm just saying. You can actually have more art if you're fiscally responsible. Let's go to Sean again, 2.0. What's up, Sean? Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Sean, that is an interesting thought process because you're right about the Article 5 situation. And yeah, Turkey is absolutely a full blown member. They're not like Ukraine, the mistress. They're just allies. I don't know what that means. I don't have the rules for that. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate you, brother. Always, always bringing in thought provoking statements, which I love and appreciate. Man, look, we're going to take us a little break. Now let's fit the caller in. They called back. Let's see here. Caller, you're live on the Josh Gilly Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, we would. I think we would. I don't think it'll come to that though. I think most of the West would as well. What do you think? Me too. Love our callers. Make the show for sure. Hey, there's so many points there, man. And it's an interesting question because that's a fair question. What if Russia attacks Israel? What if China attacks Israel? Russia, I don't think would. China, doubtful. I mean, China's been around what 3,000 years. They know how to wait. They know how to be patient. So I don't know. I think they would think the long game through, but you never know. Did we really think we'd see some of the things we're seeing here, July 9th, 2026? Just this year, just the last 2 years, just the last 5 years? Of course not. So stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We're broadcasting live from the KPEL studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana, also on Rumble.com. Shout out to our KLFY Plus viewing audience. We certainly appreciate you guys. Man, looking to bring more fun into your home. I know we all are. Then head to Indoor Recreation, my dear friends over there. They're on Rue Louis the 14th in Lafayette. That's right off of Collie Saloon. Very easy to get into. Man, Indoor Recreation has everything from pool tables and, you know, those old arcade games. They got all that stuff too, man. Shuffleboard, foosball, air hockey. They got darts. They got pub furniture and a lot more, okay? Go check them out. Indoor Recreation also offers expert moving, recovering, leveling, delivery, and installation. That is big, you know. It's worth it. That's fantastic. And with more than 35 years serving South Louisiana, trust Indoor Recreation. Visit 211 Rue Louis the 14th or call 984-1625 today. You want to know where your kids are? Build a game room, and build a game room through Indoor Recreation. Love it over there. That is I'm like a kid in a toy store over there, okay? I don't know. Jonathan's got to kick me out. All right, let's stay in house here in Louisiana. She's running for Senator, Julia Letlow, and I do think Republicans, I get it. We cannot vote for Chuck Schumer. That's all I'm going to say. Now, that being said, she is now she will be vacating that 5th congressional district. So, who's in so far? I figured we'd need to know. All right, so if you're in the 5th congressional district, or if maybe if you've just been following all this, or just Louisiana politics, the field over there in that North Louisiana seat starting to take shape. But that North Louisiana seat sure does affect Acadiana and the other parts of the state too. And it's kind of, you know, the map is the map. But right now, the significant there's people out there, but the significant Republican candidates that I can see, and if I'm missing someone, I so hope I don't. I don't think I did. Stuart Cathy, that's new, okay? Stuart's a state senator from Monroe, Army Reserve veteran. He deployed to Afghanistan, I believe. He chairs the Senate Agriculture Committee right now. He has strong ties in the Northeast area, Northeast Louisiana. He's got legislative experience, so you're running for a legislative spot in the House. You got Michael Echols, state rep from Monroe. From Fun Row, my boy Friday Ellis up there. He's been campaigning for months. Mr. Echols, he announced a while back, and he had an early start on fundraising for sure, and of course the endorsements. He's known for this is Michael Echols. He's known for a business-oriented background and economic development focus, according to WWNO. Then there's Misty Cordell. May have heard of her. She's the chair of the Louisiana Board of Regents. So there's some politics there too. I would imagine being the chair of the Board of Regents for Louisiana probably have some connections, I would imagine. Misty's also from Monroe, so there's a theme there. She's built a early support. She's entering with education and statewide board experience. I don't know how much that resonates, but she'll have probably a good opportunity to be funded and be able to put her message out there. It's part of it. Gabe Ferment, right across that. Gabe's from Grant Parish. He's a state rep. He entered the race more recently. Stuart Caffrey's the most recent entry, I believe. He's well known, Gabe Ferment, among conservative grassroots activists. That's according again to WWNO. He's big on social and cultural issues in the legislature. Those are always fun. So you probably can pull some stuff, see any of his speeches or whatnot, where his positions are. So that's the field. Now Miguez was supposed to run for that. That was under the old district. Forgive me for not knowing that. Maybe we'll look that up in the break. But that was my 4 that kind of stood out. And you know, the interesting thing isn't even about ideology here. You know, at least not yet. So all 4 candidates are Republicans. All 4 are likely to run as conservatives. So the bigger issue, I think, or the bigger question, is probably going to come down to geography. Probably going to come down to geography. You got the Monroe area connection, so that's Kathy, Eccles, and Cordell. So that raises probably the obvious political question: do multiple Northeast Louisiana candidates divide the same voter base? That's possible. That might affect a runoff. It may not. It may not. But you got Furman. He's coming from Central Louisiana. Sinlaw, Grant Parish, state rep again. That is a completely different regional footprint. It's closer to the Piney Woods, those rolling terrains a little bit. That's different than Monroe. Different than the Monroe area. Central Louisiana for a reason. North Louisiana is North Louisiana. And so on and so on. So we're going to see that because I think that's something to watch. You know, sometimes elections are won by the best candidate, yes. Sometimes they're won by the candidate who builds the broadest coalition. And sometimes these things are just won because three candidates split one pool of voters while another candidate consolidates theirs. Perhaps the gentleman from Furman from Grant, maybe that's the strategy. But all four seem to be coming with some experience on politicking. I don't say that in a bad way. Just building coalitions or at least having people that support them. You know, the board regent candidate probably is gonna. I don't want to paint. I don't want to be biased here. Well, I am probably, but I'm open about it. I don't know, man. I like the private sector stuff, and too much state involvement just rubs me the wrong way sometimes. That's just me. I don't even vote in that election. So what I'm saying, you should take it with a grain of salt and whatever. But that's just my thoughts, you know. Now, it would be interesting if Senator Miguez did get in that officially, and if he is, please forgive me. I know he was running for 5th Congressional District in the old map, the most recent map, you know. But, So anyway, we'll take us a tiny little break. We'll break early on this one. Park, when we get back, let's wrap a bow on this one. I got some other things to talk about, and then I'm trying to get Dr. Kevin on later in the show to talk about some one article I ran across. We'll see. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show. We are broadcasting live from the KPL Studios here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Man, go check out my friends at Giles Volvo. They always got something going on. Luxury vehicle, very great maintenance department, pre-owned, all the things, all the value that you get from a Giles Automotive location. Go visit my friends at Giles Volvo today. Go experience that luxury right here from Lafayette, Louisiana. We love it. All right, let's switch gears here. By the way, 232-1542. The phone lines are open. Appreciate all of our chatters over here. Big Tib, what's happening, Big Tib? Angry Volton, Jenny7788, that's Real Shaft. All the folks, appreciate you guys. Okay, so let's go to Maine. Maybe Maine just learned politics doesn't always follow the script. I don't know what was going on with this Graham Plattner situation for all these months. I still believe the only thing that changed was polling. I'm a firm believer of that. You knew the guy had a Nazi tattoo. You knew the guy had all these, at least allegations, and allegations are allegations. They're not a conviction or anything like that. But they knew of all this baggage, for lack of better words. But man, they like double down, triple down. And the folks that were tripling down on Graham Plattner were some of the first ones to distance themselves. I think the only thing that changed was the polling. So Democratic Senate candidate Graham Plattner, well, you may have seen this last night, has suspended his campaign following the allegations we just talked about. This one was an alleged 2021 incident. Now, Plattner has denied the allegations, but the Democrat Party in Maine, boy, they were pretty gung-ho on this. Said they weren't going to fund anything. They weren't going to go to bat for him. It was too much. It was. It's too much from the jump, though. So now the Maine Democrat Party is scrambling to figure out who they will replace him with on the ballot before an upcoming filing deadline, which is literally right around the corner, qualifying. So Graham Plattner, he's not going to qualify, I would imagine. He's suspending his campaign. Boy, wouldn't that be something if he just qualified? Well, I'm just suspending the campaign. Didn't mean I'm not going to run. If the people want me. But the party announced a process today. Oh, look at the Democrat Party, the party of democracy, who just appoints. But the plan is to hold a convention involving roughly 600 delegates. This is in Maine, the Democrat Party of Maine. About 500 of these delegates would be selected through county-level representation, with about 100 coming from the state party committee. Maybe those are Maine superdelegates. No, these are the guys that, make sure that we don't get too crazy here. Too crazy. Those delegates would then choose a replacement nominee. Now, that's democracy. Well, 600, I guess, there's some democracy there. Maybe the skeptic in me here, because I don't trust them. Maybe they wanted it to go this far and this close to the qualifying time so they could handpick their candidate. Maybe they don't trust the Maine Democrat voters. Not on this election, no way. It's bad enough Maine already has one Democrat senator 60 to 65% of the time. Don't let that R fool you. But this is where politics, start flaring up a little bit. Whenever something like this happens, I think there is a clear question. Who is going to replace him? Yeah. But I think the process, the process is worth talking about. I think that's more worth talking about than even the potential replacement. That doesn't sound weird. My friends who are Democrats identify as Democrat. That seems weird. You don't think that's weird that the party that always calls Trump and us conservatives threats to democracy? I don't think that's ironic that y'all keep appointing people You had to get rid of poor Joe Biden. Now you had to get rid of this poor little Nazi sympathizer. Unbelievable, you cruel people. But that doesn't seem very, very democratic. I was just saying, I mean, think about it, you know. Now, voters participated in a, so this, he's already been, man, this is weird. Yeah. I mean, voters participated in the process that produced the nominee, you know. Now the nominee's no longer actively running, so it is, that does put the party, I guess, if it's truly genuine, in a pickle. I mean, delegates are going to have to come in. That does not seem very democratic. I get it. You gotta do something. And people are probably like, well, what do you want them to do? They have to do something. Yeah, I get it. I just think y'all could have done your due diligence before nominating somebody. It's just, it seems kind of weird. You did it with President Biden, and now you're doing it with this guy. Neither one I would support. But geez. Now, this guy Plattner, he's a DSA guy, a Democratic Socialist of America. I mean, maybe the Democrat Party, you know, there is some arguments that some of these guys in the leadership circles of the DNC, maybe they're starting to see the light. I mean, Fetterman's been calling out the silly, but they're mad at him because he's a little too much common sense. Those guys from Pennsylvania, man, at least lately. So, is a convention, is that the most practical option given the timeline? I mean, you know, should there be another vote? That would be something. We delayed our election here in Louisiana. No, but this is one party's problem, though. This is one party's problem, not everybody's problem. I get it. You know, but I think that might be the most practical. I would like a vote, but I'm not a Democrat, and I don't live in Maine. So they got to make a decision. I got it. And they're not, these questions we ask, I mean, it's really not applying just to one party, if you think about it. I mean, every political party eventually runs into some situations where the rule book gets tested. We've just been seeing that with the Democrat National Committee more. And this is the main Democrats, but they're on the same club. They in the same club, go to the same clubhouse. I mean, no matter how carefully a campaign or campaigns organize, politics is ultimately driven by human beings. And we humans are so unpredictable. One day a campaign moving full speed ahead. The next day, the entire conversation changes based on something you had no clue about. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. So that's what's happening if we pull the curtain back. That's what's happening in Maine right now. Now, another layer to this story, if we can layer this some more, seems pretty layered already, but is the whole identity question, all right? I mean, when a vacancy suddenly opens up, and a big vacancy here, a party has to decide, well, what type of candidate it wants moving forward. Some say, like I was hinting to or directly said earlier, I don't trust that. Maybe they did this on purpose and waited this long so they could handpick them. And I'm just basing on what their past is. I mean, their big brother, the DNC, that's their MO. Why mess with these pesky peasants that vote? We got delegates. So there's a game plan for them. There's a path. But it's identity. Now, did these guys in Maine, are they going to try to get somebody that's more centrist? Because this dude was way activist, way left. Does it want a fresh face? Do you want to? I would imagine you would want to go in there with the complete opposite. He's a dude with a Nazi tattoo and a goatee. I'd go with somebody no goatee and no Nazi tattoo. We'll start off with that. I'm trying to help my friends on the Democrat side here in Maine, okay? Like, let's just start off with that. No Nazi. Can you just do questionnaires before you start a point? Like, does anybody have any, do you want to disclose right now? I'll give you amnesty. Does anybody have a Nazi tattoo? That seems like a question that we would, that might be a question they want to ask now. Do other folks in Maine have this? It doesn't seem like it would be a very popular one. I'm just trying to help out. I want this to be a good, hard-fought election. You think they're going to go with someone maybe with some previous statewide election history? That'd probably be wise in this election. We don't know. I am so watching this, and it's fascinating to me to see how creative the Democrat Party here is going to have to get, because this is kind of a bad look. I mean, it's kind of a bad look. You had all your elites, like, all up on this dude, supporting him. And then, then the polling hit. Was the internet around then? Anyway, all right, guys, we're going to take us a tiny little break. We get back, we're going to have some fun. We're going to switch up topics. All right, stick around. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the KPL studios here in Lafayette. Guys, man, let me tell y'all, for years, Americans have been told our food supply, well, it's the safest in the world. So now, I guess the FBA is announcing one of the most sweeping food policy agendas in decades, what it appears. You know, you got from petroleum-based food dyes, ultra-processed foods, to heavy metals and baby food. You know, what's really in our dietary supplements, you know? So this is kind of like long overdue, and are we headed toward government overreach? Dr. Kevin's going to tell us all those hard answers. What's up, Dr. Kevin from Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic, my dear buddy? What's happening? Man, this is some new. All right, so whenever I stumbled across this, obviously you were the first person to come to mind. I appreciate you making time for us. Maybe you can explain this a little better for us, break it down in English. What you think? Good. Oh man, don't say that. Yeah. Whew. Okay. That's wild. When you told me that about Skittles one time, and I just thought that was amazing too. Do you know why they put that in the ingredients? I mean, is it like they put nicotine in cigarettes for a reason? Lower third. Wow. Wow. Man. Man, that's what I'm saying. You know, in the politics of it, President Trump, he could have appointed a whole bunch of people, okay? But a Kennedy at that, and a far left-leaning Democrat, but he found but you could find common ground. This guy does not get as much credit as he should on his ability to work with others. They paint him as somebody that's totally different. He don't agree with RFK probably on a lot of things, but on this, he was willing to work with him. And I think that diversity of thought is good. It's very good. Hey, Dr. Kevin, again, it's Dr. Kevin, Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic. All right, so you talk about, I mean, obviously nutrition, functional medicine. You've been doing this for quite some time. You've helped me and my family and a lot of my friends now. Hey, do you think that the FDA may be finally catching up? Is there hope? Are we making some movement? Wow. Okay, so let's have fun here real quick, okay, Dr. Kevin? We're going to go lightning round because we got a minute and 18 seconds left, okay? Lightning round. Butter or margarine? Whoa, okay. Note that to myself, although I'm following the regime. Whole milk or skim? Okay. Eggs? Okay, whole milk, organic, grass-fed, and make sure it's not just a marketing label organic. Make sure it's actually organic. All right, Doc, what about eggs? They good for you? We can eat eggs? That's my man. Coffee. Ooh, coffee. Oh, where do you get that at? On the internet? How did I miss this in your treatment? Ooh, okay, we got to remember that. All right, let's see. We can fit this one in. Okay, let's go with organic. Is it worth it or is it overrated? Wow. Hey, he fit it in, Park. We got 5 seconds.
I love that. I love
Oh my
that.
gosh.
I love that.
And I love Dr. Kevin from Dr. Kevin's Wellness Clinic. Guys, be careful out there. May God bless you and be kind.